Welcome back to our channel, guys, where today we're diving deep into a controversy that's shaking the very foundations of the American justice system. In the spotlight is Judge McAfee, whose recent decision in the disqualification hearing of Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis has sparked just a firestorm of debate and criticism. Renowned Harvard law professor emeritus Alan Dershowitz has openly slammed the Georgia judge for allowing DA Fani Willis to continue her high-profile cases, despite what Dershowitz described as paying her lover with taxpayer dollars. He said it's more proof of America's rotten justice. He's also called it self-dealing, the practice of exploiting one's position of authority to enrich oneself. So we're going to explore the potential political and legal ramifications as both Willis and McAfee face their own challenges in the upcoming primary elections and the possibility of Donald Trump suing DA Willis for defamation. Join us as we unravel the details of this unprecedented legal drama, its impact on Atlanta's legal community, and what it means for the future of justice here in America. So stay tuned for an in-depth analysis that you're not going to want to miss. PR expert Phil Kent talked about how much this decision from McAfee could affect his re-election prospects. Check this out.
Judge Scott McAfee's ruling to let DA Fani Willis stay on the election interference case could factor heavily in this year's political campaign.
That's going to be a big election issue, I think, for the judge.
McAfee, a Republican, is up for re-election as Superior Court judge in Fulton County.
Politically, I think Judge McAfee is in serious political trouble.
Right now, McAfee faces opposition from lawyer and talk show host Robert Patillo and Tiffany Johnson, a former staff attorney for a Fulton County judge. Phil Kent is a Republican strategist.
Well, he could lose. My phone blew up with a lot of Republicans saying, I'm not voting for this guy.
Another expert who has a lot to say about this Harvard law professor emeritus Alan Dershowitz. For him, the question is, who will guard against the corruption of some of America's guardians? No one, apparently. Not in Georgia, anyway. For Dershowitz, Judge Scott McAfee had to navigate through some pretty choppy waters in the case that's got Donald Trump and many others in the hot seat for allegedly messing with the election results. The twist? Well, District Attorney Fani Willis, who's been spearheading this massive racketeering case, had some secrets of her own. Well, turns out that she and special prosecutor that she appointed, Nathan Wade, were more than just colleagues. They were in a relationship. This bombshell dropped after everything came to a standstill in early January, throwing everyone for a loop. For weeks, everyone was left wondering what's going on until Willis and her now ex, Wade, admitted to their personal relationship, claiming that it only started after Wade was brought into the case in November 2021. Then, adding more drama to the mix, both of them ended up testifying about their personal doings in the court, turning the legal process into something straight out of a movie. The jaw dropper? It was revealed that Wade billed the Georgia taxpayer more than $728,000 in legal fees for his work on the case. And it looks like some of that cash actually went toward financing a lifestyle of vacations to Belize, California's Napa Valley, and of course, the Caribbean that he and Willis enjoyed together. And as pointed out by Dershowitz, the whole scenario is a classic case of what's called self-dealing, using a position of power for personal gain. Trump's defense team jumped on this, arguing that Willis's romantic entanglement was a conflict of interest big enough to get her kicked off the case. Now, at this point, people are calling for justice. They're saying that Fani Willis and her boyfriend should be in jail for fraud, for lying in court. But Judge McAfee threw everyone for a loop. Despite acknowledging Willis's major misstep and unprofessional behavior in not disclosing her relationship, he decided not to disqualify Fani Willis from the case. He called it an appearance of a conflict of interest rather than an actual substantial conflict, leaving more than a few people scratching their heads. It's like something out of a legal drama where you're just kind of left wondering how these decisions come about and what it means for the trust in our justice system. Now, some called Scott McAfee a coward and said that he should not be a judge. Now, apart from that, others say that he should be disbarred and imprisoned for making deals with prosecutors. McAfee gave Willis two options. Either she and her office voluntarily withdraw from his case or Wade quits. No shocker here, Nathan Wade decided to bow out right after the decision. Now, let's not jump to conclusions and say that the only reason that Georgia went after Trump was to line Fani Willis's and her lover's pockets. But come on, guys. Choosing not to make a decision based on that kind of feels a little bit off, right? It turns out, digging into the case, the evidence shows that both parties were enriched during their investigation. As Dershowitz points out, that is a clear conflict of interest and far more than just a mere appearance. Now, the real kicker here isn't whether Willis should keep leading the prosecution, but really whether she should be the one on the hot seat, facing charges charges herself, investigated, indicted, and convicted. Imagine if DA Fani Willis was going after citizen Fani Willis, she'd have a solid case. We're talking about potential accusations of lying under oath. That's perjury, conspiring, and blocking justice. Willis swore up and down that her romantic relationship with Wade started in 2022 after he was brought onto the case. But then you have Robin Bryan Yearty, a former friend and colleague of Willis, testifying that she had no doubt that Willis and Wade started dating back in 2019, and Terrence Bradley, Wade's former law partner, corroborated that claim in text messages revealed to the court, even though he later claimed on the witness stand that he had no personal knowledge of when their relationship began. Judge McAfee said so himself in the ruling. Wade's explanation of his inaccurate responses to his wife's questioning during their divorce proceedings showed a willingness on his part to wrongly conceal his relationship with the district attorney. But wait, there's more. Cell phone records put Wade near Willis's place at really odd hours in 2021, like in the middle of the night, not at a likely time for business meetings, on multiple instances in 2021, and notably before 2022 when Willis claimed that their relationship began. In one instance, cell phone pings indicated that Wade traveled from his home in the direction of Willis's home late one evening in September 2021 and remained in the area until around 3:30 in the morning. He then sent Willis a text message at 4:20 a.m. according to an affidavit filed by Trump's attorneys. Now, of course, there's also the allegation that Wade used his income paid by Georgia taxpayers as a special prosecutor to pay for their exotic trips. Willis says she paid him back every penny for her share of these trips, but proof? Zero. She's supposed to report any gifts that she gets, right? You'd think that she'd have some evidence of paying him back, but nope. No bank withdrawals or deposits, no handwritten notes, and no photographs of any reimbursements. Nothing. They claim it was all settled in cash. Good luck convincing a jury of that. But despite all of this, Judge McAfee has decided Willis is still fit to lead a major case against a leading political figure. Now, this has Trump and his team calling for a higher court to take a very hard look at what they see as a major miscarriage of justice. And if any convictions do happen, you'll bet there will be a push to have them overturned. But regardless of how this all plays out, the case has cast a long shadow over the prosecution, and Dershowitz says it's making a mockery of the justice system. Now, if you ask the people, you'd get a whole lot of people basically saying that this judge should be removed, that McAfee should be disbarred. Now, I've heard people say it's just a bad joke, and what a joke it is, as they're saying that there's no justice in America. Before he issued this ruling, McAfee said that he always wants to convey that no ruling of his is ever going to be based on politics, and that he's going to be following the law as best as I understand it. But what do you guys think? Do you feel like he stuck to his word? Drop a quick yes or no down in the comments below. And hey, if you guys are appreciating the insight so far, give this video a thumbs up, show your support. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on those notifications so that you never miss out on our deep dives. Your support means we can keep bringing you guys the insights and the expert opinions that matter. Now, let's get back to unraveling the complexities of this case. Will McAfee's controversial ruling cost him and Willis their jobs? Well, only time will tell. But already, on the same day as the judge's ruling, a progressive Democrat and a Republican who briefly worked on Donald Trump's administration entered the Fulton County District Attorney's race in an attempt to oust Fani Willis. Attorney Christian Wise Smith, who ran against Willis 4 years ago, is challenging her in the May Democratic primary election. Courtney Kramer, who said that she interned in the White House's counsel under Trump for 3 months in 2018, was the only Republican to qualify for the noon Friday deadline. The general election is in November. Meanwhile, Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee, who's presiding over the election interference case, drew 2 challengers for his nonpartisan race in May: Robert Patillo, a civil rights attorney, and Tiffany Johnson, a staff attorney for another Fulton County judge. Definitely feels like McAfee and Willis are in danger politically. New York-based attorney Colleen Kerwick even said that this could go even further. She believes Trump may now have grounds for a defamation claim against Willis. She said that McAfee held that an odor of mendacity remains, which essentially impeaches the credibility of Willis and Wade. She also highlighted that McAfee said that Fani Willis casting racial aspersions at an indicted defendant's decision to file pretrial motion was wading further into dangerous waters. Now, with that, Kerwick said said Trump could sue her for defamation, that the judge's comments about Willis are pretty damning, and that would be up to a court to determine if Willis's professional immunity would cover her church comments. In fact, just last month, Trump's lawyer Steve Sadow filed a complaint about Willis's church comments to McAfee in which he criticized what they called the district attorney's racially invective comments. Sadow noted that Willis had tried to contrast the treatment of Wade with the white lawyers in her office without stating that she had been in a relationship with the prosecutor. Now, according to Sadow's motion, the DA's conduct was indeed egregious. Her MLK Martin Luther King Jr. holiday church speech intentionally and in bad faith injected race, religion, and politics into the case and stoked racially animus by, among other statements, asking God why defense counsel and the defendants were questioning her conduct in hiring a black man, but not his white counterparts, and why the judgment of a black female Democrat wasn't as good as a white male Republican. This while conveniently leaving out the fact that the questioning was about her hiring someone that she was in a personal relationship with. Legal experts are already saying that the accusations surrounding Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis could impact Atlanta's community of lawyers forever. Noah Pines, an Atlanta-based attorney who has been following the case very closely, commented that the case will, in his opinion, impact the relationship of these lawyers forever. And for him, that's kind of disheartening. But honestly, for me, this whole thing is just kind of disheartening, honestly. This case, for me, it has really thrown a spotlight on the intricate balance of justice, ethics, and politics. I just hope that our deep dive here today has provided you with a clearer understanding of the stakes involved and the potential repercussions of the legal landscape. Remember, justice and accountability, they're all pillars of our society, and it's crucial that we stay informed and vigilant. For more insightful analyses like this one, definitely hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more updates, and ring that bell so that you never miss out on our latest videos. Your thoughts really matter to us, so drop a comment down below. Let me know what your take is on this. I'll see you on the next one.